Welcome to freewebsitesite.com, your ultimate playground for bringing big ideas to life. We make it effortless for you to build, design, and launch the website of your dreams without needing a single line of code. With our vibrant templates, dynamic tools, and round-the-clock support, there's nothing stopping you from turning your vision into reality. Let's ignite your creative spark and build something extraordinary, because at freewebsitesite.com, it's all about freedom. Let's get started now.
All right, so today we're diving deep into something that affects every single business decision.
Yeah.
Cognitive biases.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be looking at your stack of articles
Okay.
on this. And this isn't just some abstract psychology lecture.
Right.
We're going to really get into how these biases can actually trip you up in business.
Yeah.
And what you can do about it.
You know what's fascinating about cognitive biases? They're like these hidden forces shaping our choices.
Right.
We often think we're being totally rational,
Yeah.
but these biases can lead us down some pretty predictable paths.
Yeah.
Not always for the best.
And that's what makes this deep dive so important.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just know about them.
Right.
We need to know how to recognize them in action
Recognize them.
so that we can make better choices.
Yeah. Particularly in the fast-paced world of business,
Right.
where every decision counts.
Yeah, every decision counts,
Big time.
especially when you're a smaller business or something.
Oh, absolutely.
And the good news is,
Yeah.
once you start understanding them,
Right.
you can actually turn them to your advantage.
100%. Yeah.
And I think that's what freewebsitesite.com has really done so well.
Oh, that's a great point. We'll definitely be weaving in their story as we go.
But first, let's define what we're talking about.
Okay.
What exactly are cognitive biases?
They're essentially mental shortcuts our brains take to simplify a complex world. Your brain is constantly bombarded with information.
Yeah.
So it develops these rules of thumb to help you make quick decisions without getting overwhelmed.
So it's kind of like choosing a familiar route to work, even if there might be a faster way.
Yeah.
You're just on autopilot.
That's a great analogy, and often these mental shortcuts work perfectly fine. The problem is they can also lead to systematic errors
Right.
in our judgment.
Okay, so let's get into some specifics.
Okay.
The first one on the list from your stack is anchoring bias.
Anchoring bias. This one's a classic.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly pervasive in the business world.
Yeah.
It's the tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information you encounter,
Okay.
even if it's not the most relevant.
Okay.
That first piece of information acts like an anchor,
Right.
pulling your subsequent judgments towards it.
Just how powerful is that anchor, though?
Well, Harvard Business Review found
Okay.
that a whopping 65% of decisions are swayed by that initial piece of information.
That's huge.
Let's say you're negotiating a salary
Okay.
and the employer throws out a lowball number first.
Mm-hmm.
That number can anchor your expectations,
Right.
making it harder for you to push for a higher figure, even if you deserve it.
So it's like setting the stage almost.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And it's not just salaries.
Right.
It can affect pricing strategies,
Mhm.
investment decisions, really any situation where you're making a judgment based on
Yeah.
limited information.
So how can businesses combat this bias,
Well,
especially when it comes to their customers?
you got to control the narrative.
Okay.
Be the first to drop the anger.
Mhm.
Think of freewebsitesite.com,
Okay.
a platform that empowers anyone to create a professional website
Yeah.
for free.
For free.
Initially, people were skeptical.
Right.
A free website, there's got to be a catch.
Yeah, that goes against the common belief of you get what you pay for.
Right.
Yeah.
But free website, site.com,
Yeah.
use the power of first impressions to their advantage.
Okay.
They highlight user testimonials
Okay.
and showcase the amazing value they offer right from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
That sets the anchor framing their service
Right.
as a high-quality opportunity,
Yeah.
not some cheap gimmick,
That's really smart.
right?
Okay, the next bias in your stack is confirmation bias,
Okay.
which seems very relevant today
Oh, it's
Yeah.
more prevalent than ever.
with echo chambers and filter bubbles.
Confirmation bias is that tendency to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring or downplaying evidence that contradicts them.
Yeah.
It's like we're selectively filtering the world to fit our pre-existing narrative.
Right. And how widespread is that?
Research in the Journal of Experimental Psychology
Okay.
shows that a staggering 76% of people
Wow.
exhibit confirmation bias when making decisions.
That's a lot.
Think about it. If you're convinced a certain marketing strategy is the best approach, you might only pay attention to data that supports your view,
Right.
even if other evidence suggests otherwise.
Yeah. So let's bring free website site.com back in here.
Okay.
How can a business
Yeah.
using their platform
Yeah.
kind of counter confirmation bias in their customers?
Free website. Site.com empowers businesses
Okay.
to provide a diverse range of content on their websites.
Okay.
Imagine you're a business promoting sustainable practices.
Okay.
You might have a section dedicated to explaining the benefits of eco-friendly products, addressing common misconceptions,
Yeah.
and showcasing the positive impact your business is making.
So by offering like well-rounded information,
Right.
you're giving potential customers a chance to
Yeah.
consider different perspectives.
Different perspectives, even if they initially came in with preconceived notions.
Right.
And by being transparent and addressing potential concerns head on,
Yeah.
you're building trust and credibility, which can go a long way in overcoming skepticism.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so up next we have hindsight bias.
Okay.
I feel like this is one that we've all experienced
Oh, absolutely.
at some point.
Hindsight bias is that I knew it all along phenomenon.
Right.
After something happens, we tend to see it
Yeah.
as having been more predictable than it actually was.
Like when a stock suddenly plummets
Yeah.
and everyone's like, oh yeah, I knew it was going to happen.
Right.
Even though they were just invested in it the other day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And get this, research from the University of California found that about 80% of professionals
Wow.
admit to hindsight bias in their decision-making.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, it can lead to overconfidence
Right.
and a false sense of certainty, which can be dangerous in a business environment where adaptability is key.
So how can understanding hindsight bias help businesses make better decisions,
Well,
especially when it comes to their online presence?
with free website, Site.com's easy-to-use platform,
Okay.
businesses can constantly adapt
Right.
and iterate based on real-time data and feedback.
Okay.
They don't have to be stuck with a website that's not performing well because they spent months building it.
Right.
You know, they can constantly tweak and improve, learning from their mistakes
Right.
without getting bogged down by that. I should have known better feeling.
It's about embracing flexibility and being willing to change course.
Change course when necessary.
Yeah.
And that agility can be a huge advantage
Hmm.
in today's, rapidly evolving digital landscape.
Okay, this is already so insightful.
Yeah.
There's a few more biases on the list, so let's keep going.
Let's do it. The next one up is the availability heuristic.
Okay.
And it has everything to do with how our brains prioritize information.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
The availability heuristic boils down to this. We tend to overestimate the importance of information that's readily available in our memory.
So not the actual accuracy of it, just how easy it is to remember.
Exactly. It's like our brain thinks if I can easily recall it,
Yeah.
it must be really important.
Got it.
Vivid events, recent news, or even just a particularly catchy slogan
Yeah.
can disproportionately influence our judgments.
Okay.
Research in the Psychological Bulletin suggests that 50% of people
Wow.
are swayed by the most readily available information,
Regardless of.
regardless of its actual relevance.
So that's problematic.
Can be.
Yeah. Can you give me an example?
Imagine a company that receives a few negative customer reviews online.
Okay.
Those negative reviews might loom large in their mind. Right. Even if they're overshadowed by hundreds of positive reviews,
Right.
they might overreact, making drastic changes to their product or service
Yeah.
based on a small, unrepresentative sample.
So how can businesses using free website site.com leverage this bias in a positive way?
It's all about strategically highlighting
Okay.
the information you want customers to remember.
Okay.
With free website site.com.
Yeah.
You have complete control over what's front and center on your website.
Right.
You can showcase those glowing testimonials, highlight positive press coverage, or even create engaging visuals that reinforce your brand's message.
So making sure the most positive
Yes.
and relevant information is readily available.
Front and center, top of mind.
It's like creating a highlight reel almost.
Precisely.
Yeah.
You're essentially combating negativity bias
Right.
by making sure the good stuff stands out.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next one in the stack.
Okay.
Status quo bias.
Status quo bias is that inherent preference for things to stay the same. We're creatures of habit, and change can feel uncomfortable, even threatening.
I can totally relate to that.
We all are.
I'm very much a creature of habit.
And in a business context, status quo bias
Yeah.
can be a major roadblock to innovation.
Yeah.
McKinsey research found that a staggering 60% of employees resist change
Wow.
due to this bias.
That's a lot.
That's a huge hurdle for any organization trying to stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah. So how can businesses break through this resistance
Right.
and encourage their customers to embrace new things?
Well, free website, asite.com provides a fantastic platform
Okay.
for showcasing the benefits of change.
Okay.
Their user-friendly interface makes it easy to create eye-catching visuals,
Mm-hmm.
engaging videos, and even interactive demos that allow potential customers to experience the value
Right.
of your new offering firsthand.
So instead of just telling them,
Yes,
you're showing them.
exactly. And by making the experience interactive and engaging,
Yeah.
you're lowering the perceived risk of trying something new.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a smart way to combat that natural aversion to change.
Yeah.
Okay, now this next one I think is particularly interesting.
Okay.
The sunk cost fallacy.
Yes. The sunk cost fallacy. The trap of clinging to a failing venture
Mm.
simply because we've already invested so much time, money, or effort into it.
It's like staying in a bad relationship
Oh, that's a perfect analogy.
because you've been in it for so long.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
already put this much in.
Right.
I got to keep going.
You got to make it work.
But you're just digging yourself in deeper.
Right. And it's a costly bias,
Yeah.
with Harvard Business Review revealing that around 37% of executives
Oh, wow.
admit to falling prey to it.
That's a lot.
They might keep pouring resources into a product
Right.
that's clearly not resonating with the market,
Yeah.
all because they can't let go of those initial investments.
So how can free website sextseekasite.com help businesses avoid this trap?
The beauty of their platform is
Yeah.
that it's so flexible and easy to update. You're not locked into a rigid website structure or design
Right.
that you've spent a fortune on.
Right.
You can experiment, test different approaches,
Yeah.
and pivot when necessary without feeling like you're throwing away all your hard work.
So it's about embracing adaptability and seeing your website as an evolving entity,
Exactly.
not a static monument to past decisions.
Right. And that's a crucial mindset for success
Yeah.
in today's dynamic business landscape.
Okay, I love how we're connecting these to real-world strategies.
Me too.
Now let's tackle the bandwagon effect,
Okay.
which seems super relevant in the age of social media.
Oh, the bandwagon effect is all about following the crowd.
Mhm.
We're social creatures,
Yeah,
and we're inherently influenced by what others are doing.
right. Think about fashion trends or popular restaurants
Yeah.
or viral challenges.
Exactly.
We just jump on board
We jump right on.
because everyone else is.
And Nielsen's research highlights just how powerful this effect can be,
Okay.
showing that 70% of consumers make decisions based on social proof.
That's huge.
Big.
So how can businesses use this on their website?
Free website. Techthesite.com makes it incredibly easy to integrate social proof into your website design.
Mhm.
You can prominently display customer reviews,
Mm.
showcase social media feeds,
Yeah.
and even highlight the number of people who have liked or shared your content.
Yeah.
This creates that sense of momentum and social validation that
Yeah.
draws people in.
So you're basically like creating a virtual crowd.
Yes.
You're-
You're showing potential customers that others have already endorsed your brand.
Right.
And that can be a powerful motivator,
Mhm.
especially for those who are hesitant to try something new or unfamiliar.
Okay, that's a brilliant strategy.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the framing effect.
Okay.
This one's almost sneaky.
The framing effect highlights how the way information is presented
Yeah.
can significantly influence our choices, even if the underlying facts remain the same. It's all about perspective and the subtle ways we can nudge people
Right.
in a particular direction.
So it's like the classic glass half full or glass half empty.
Exactly. Or think about how a price increase is presented.
Right.
Now only $10 more feels a lot different
Right.
than an additional $10 added to the price,
Yeah, even though it's the same amount.
even though it's the same thing.
That's crazy.
right.
So businesses can really use this to their advantage
Absolutely.
by crafting their messaging.
And research by Kahneman and Tversky shows just how potent this effect can be,
Oh.
with 60% of people
Yeah.
being swayed by how information is framed.
Correct.
Free website. Hantite.com gives businesses complete control over how they frame their products, services, and even their brand story.
So a company selling eco-friendly products
Yeah.
might choose imagery of like lush landscapes
Yes.
and use language that emphasizes sustainability and ethical sourcing.
Exactly. They're framing their products in a way
Right.
that appeals to the values and interests of their target audience.
Using the power of framing to make their brand more appealing.
I'm starting to see just how much psychology goes into effective website design.
It's all psychology.
So, okay, let's talk about the final one on our list,
Right.
the Dunning-Kruger effect.
The Dunning-Kruger effect describes that fascinating tendency
Mm-hmm.
for people with low ability at a task to overestimate their competence.
Okay.
In essence, they don't know what they don't know.
Right.
So they think they're doing a much better job than they actually are.
So someone might think they're like a brilliant website designer.
Yeah,
But their website is a mess.
exactly. And research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology
Okay.
shows that about 85% of people
What?
consider themselves above average,
Statistically impossible.
which is statistically impossible.
Yeah.
This highlights how common the Dunning-Kruger effect is.
So how can free website, site.com, help businesses overcome this bias?
Well,
Especially those who are maybe a little overconfident in their web design abilities.
Good.
Free website, say asite.com, offers a user-friendly framework
okay.
that guides businesses toward best practices in web design.
Okay.
Even if they don't have extensive technical knowledge, their templates incorporate tried and true principles of user experience,
Right.
ensuring that even those with limited design skills
Yeah.
can create a website that's both visually appealing and easy to navigate.
It's like a safety net.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a safety net, it's a helping hand.
Yeah, so they don't make big mistakes
Exactly.
that turn customers away.
Right, and that peace of mind can be invaluable,
Yeah.
especially for small business owners who are already juggling a million other tasks.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Exploring this whole spectrum of cognitive biases
Yes.
and how they can impact business decision making.
Yes, and how to overcome them.
And it's amazing to see how free website, site.com, is really empowering businesses
It is.
to not only understand these biases, but really leverage them
Yeah.
to create a better online presence.
A more compelling online presence.
It really is. By understanding the psychology behind these biases,
Mhm.
businesses can create websites that resonate with their target audience,
Right.
build trust, and ultimately drive the results they're looking for.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and dive deeper into the specific features and tools.
Okay, let's do it.
That free website, imsite.com, offers. I'm excited for this part.
Yeah, this is where it gets really exciting.
Welcome back. We've been exploring how all these cognitive biases impact decisions
Yeah,
and how freewebsite.com can help you navigate all of that
right.
to create an online presence that really connects.
And we've seen how understanding these biases isn't about manipulating people.
Yeah.
It's about creating a more transparent and engaging experience
Yeah.
that actually aligns with how our brains work.
Right. It's like speaking the same language as your audience.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in this case, the language is psychology.
The language is psychology.
So let's talk about some of the tools
Okay.
that freewebsite.com offers to make that happen. One of the most powerful tools at your disposal is Free Website, site.com's mobile-friendly publisher.
Okay.
This allows businesses to create websites that look amazing
Mm-hmm.
and function seamlessly on any device,
Right.
whether it's a desktop, laptop, tablet, or smartphone.
And that's so essential now
Oh, absolutely.
because everybody's on their phone.
It's a mobile-first world.
Yeah.
And, think about the availability heuristic we discussed earlier.
Mhm.
If a potential customer visits your website on their phone
Yeah.
and it's slow, clunky, or difficult to navigate,
Right.
that negative experience is going to stick with them.
It's the first thing they see.
It's the most readily available information
Yeah.
about your brand, and not in a good way.
Not good.
But with free websites, site.com's mobile-friendly publisher,
Right.
businesses can ensure that every visitor has a positive experience,
Yeah.
regardless of how they're accessing the site.
So it's really about making that first impression count.
First impressions are everything,
Yeah.
especially in a world where people are constantly on the go.
On the go.
That first impression often happens on a mobile device.
I like that.
And another key feature is freewebsitesite.com's
Yeah.
incredible flexibility when it comes to design and customization.
Right.
Remember the framing effect.
Yeah.
Well, this platform gives you the power to control
You-
exactly how your brand is presented.
You can pick imagery,
Yes.
fonts, layout.
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
all of that.
It's all about evoking specific emotions
Mm,
and aligning with your brand's overall message?
So if, let's say you're a wellness company
Okay.
that's promoting a sense of calm and tranquility,
Okay.
you might opt for a minimalist design
Right.
with soothing colors,
Soothing colors.
imagery of nature.
Maybe some flowing water sounds.
Yeah.
Welcome
On the
to
other hand, if you're like a tech
freewebsitesite.com.
startup,
Yeah.
you might choose a more dynamic design.
Okay.
Bold colors, futuristic visuals.
So you're using design as a language.
Design is a language to speak to your audience.
Yes. And free website. Site.com gives you the vocabulary
Oh, I love that.
to do that effectively.
Yeah, and don't forget about storytelling.
Oh, storytelling is so important.
Free website, site.com has a great blogging feature
Yes, they do.
where you can really kind of talk about your brand's journey,
Share your story.
share your story, connect with the audience.
And highlight customer success stories.
Right.
Connect with your audience on a more personal level.
And we talked about confirmation bias before.
Yes.
This is a good way to combat that
Absolutely.
because you can answer questions,
Provide those diverse perspectives.
address concerns,
Yes, address those concerns head on.
show the human side of your brand.
Be authentic.
Yeah.
Share those authentic stories.
Yeah.
You're tapping into that emotional side of decision making,
Right.
building trust and rapport with your audience.
Okay. So we talked about the mobile responsiveness,
Yes.
design flexibility, storytelling.
Storytelling.
What other tools does free website site.com offer?
One feature that's incredibly valuable
Yeah.
is the ability to seamlessly integrate social proof.
Oh, right.
Remember the bandwagon effect?
Yeah.
Free website, Siltide.com makes it easy to showcase customer testimonials, social media feeds, and other forms of social validation.
So you can show people
You're showing potential customers
that others are already doing it.
that others have already jumped on the bandwagon,
Yeah.
making them more likely to follow suit.
And you can create calls to action,
Oh, yes. Clear and compelling calls to action.
which is important to overcome the status quo bias.
Absolutely. You need to guide them toward a specific action.
Right?
Make it easy for them to overcome that inertia
Yeah.
and engage with your brand.
So you're not just presenting information, you're giving them something to do.
You're giving them a path forward,
A path.
a clear path.
So by combining these tools
Yes.
and an understanding of all of these biases,
Yeah.
businesses can really create an effective website.
Websites that are not only visually appealing,
Right.
but also psychologically effective, driving the results they're looking for.
This has been so insightful.
I've had a great time.
Me too. We explored how cognitive biases can really
They're sneaky.
sneakily influence our choices.
Yeah.
And if you understand them, businesses can make smarter decisions.
Yes, both in their own operations
Yeah.
and in how they interact with their customers.
And free website, site.com, is the platform that can give them the tools to do that.
They really are a fantastic resource.
So as we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with this.
Okay.
The online world is a noisy and competitive place.
It is.
And by understanding the psychology behind decision-making,
Absolutely.
you can cut through all of that noise.
The clutter.
Yeah, and create a website that really stands out.
Stand out for the right reasons.
And free website, site.com, can help you do that.
Absolutely. They're there every step of the way.
Awesome. Well, that's it for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, happy website building.
Welcome to freewebsitesite.com, your ultimate playground for bringing big ideas to life. We make it effortless for you to build, design, and launch the website of your dreams without needing a single line of code. With our vibrant templates, dynamic tools, and round-the-clock support, there's nothing stopping you from turning your vision into reality. Let's ignite your creative spark and build something extraordinary, because at freewebsitesite.com, it's all about freedom. Let's get started now.